I think we're up.
We're live. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
There's already a few here.
Yeah. We're kind of waiting for the chat to kind of come on through a little bit. And once we do that, sorry, we've never gone live before, so this is a new thing for us. I'm waiting for this thing to show up. Let's see if I can get this to show up. I don't see any chats yet. Well, there we go. Welcome to our channel. Welcome back. We're Shelf Possessed.
I am David.
And I'm Craig. Of course, if you're here, you probably know that. So we're so glad that you joined us for a live. Is this weird for you?
Me going live, I have to watch what I say.
Yeah.
I have to keep the language to minimum, at least the bad language anyway. So yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Who is that?
So glad that you stopped by. Thank you. Hey, Horror Homeroom. Thank you.
Can I give a shout out to Horror Homeroom real quick? I got the privilege of writing an article, an essay, really, for them a few years ago. It was for the 40th anniversary of Friday the 13th. And it was probably, academically, my most favorite thing I've ever written, academic-wise, anyway. And it was just such a pleasure to kind of get away from theoretical stuff at school and to kind of focus on things that I love. So thank you again for that.
It's also very good, by the way. I'm just saying, and my humble little opinion. So
I will encourage everybody to go to Horror Homeroom and to, look them up.
It was an excellent essay. It's framed on our office wall.
It did. My sister framed it. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd.
Horror nerd. So. Well, we're glad. There's 9 of you here. Thank you so much for coming. We were talking about what to do the other day, and I was like, why don't we just go live and do our wrap-up live? Because then we can chat with people, while we're wrapping up what we did for the readathon and check in with people and see how they are doing, or how they did, I guess, since it's Saturday night. The readathon is officially over at this point. So, hey. How are you liking that pumpkin the pumpkin syrup?
The pumpkin syrup.
I have my iced coffee, and I use some in mine. In honor of you, we just had this conversation. Michael and I had this conversation on Instagram earlier today about the pumpkin syrups.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Hi. So glad you came.
It's always great to chat with you all live.
Yeah.
We never get a chance to do that, only in comments after the videos are kind of out there. So
it's fun to do it in the moment, right? Yes, the white chocolate one is the best one, if you ask me. That's just my opinion, but yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the books that we read. We're going to ask you guys some questions and hope that we can kind of engage with you and talk with you about how your Final Girl-a-thon went. This is a good shirt, right? It's a very good shirt.
For my birthday?
Yeah, I made this for David.
You actually made this for me for my birthday.
Yeah.
Past March.
Brown sugar syrup is delicious. Yes. Yeah. So I want to know, first and foremost, how did your Final Girl-a-thon go? Like, tell us in the comments. Did you have a top favorite book, a least favorite book? Like, how did it go? And we'll kind of pop in and out and talk to you about what you read as well, because that would be fun to know what you guys did. So how did you feel about your stuff?
I got most of my TBR done except for one. I did not get to Grady Hendrix, which I just didn't have time. Just kind of went by very, very fast for us, and some things kind of popped up that were beyond our control.
Yeah.
So, but at least I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 6 books. So I think that's pretty good. Some of them, it kind of went like this over the course of the week. What about you? You actually had some really good choices. Yeah.
Also, just no failing. Nobody fails. You picked up a book, and that's all you can do, right? There's no failure. That's not failure. You're amazing. So don't say that about yourself.
What?
That's my inner teacher coming out. That's what I would say to my students. So 2 books is great. Sorry, we're trying to read as we went. Yes, Horror Homeroom. Dark Harvest was my first one, and it was great. I was pleasantly surprised by that. So, uh, it's a perfect book to read in October. It's
Mhm,
like
mhm.
perfect for that.
Especially before the movie comes out. I haven't seen any trailers or anything for it, but I know that it should be coming out in, sometime in the fall.
I think September or something like that. I had come closer on my list, and yesterday a book came in the mail from this one, and he bought me "Come Closer" by Sarah Grant. So I have it to read. I didn't get it read this week, but now based on what you said, I think I think I want to read it now for
Mhm,
sure.
mhm.
So,
What else did you
oh God, sorry, today's been crazy. um, I just got home. I literally just like walked in the door like 20 minutes ago. I went and saw my students were performing in Legally Blonde at a summer youth theater, and I went and saw I went and saw them do Legally Blonde, and now I'm here talking about horror books. So yeah. Um, Thank you, thank you. I'm glad that you really liked this readathon. That makes me very happy. I'm glad that people like found it and kind of came in and I yeah, this is my I got these are just the physical books that I finished this week. And then I finished 2 digital books as well. Well, one. One I can't keep count for anything. But yeah, Dark Harvest is probably one of the best ones. But then I think my top one was this. Yeah, which makes him very, very happy. So, you know,
I don't even have to say anything.
yeah, you don't. I realized too, I talked about Murders of Molly Softborn in a vlog, um, but I talked about it for like 30 seconds and did not spend any time on it at all. And I did not enjoy this one. This is probably the lowest on the list for the week for sure. So yeah. Okay, so you have to pick your favorite.
My favorite. You know what? I think I'm still thinking about mine. But this is at the top, but I'm still thinking about it like every day, and that's Nick Cutter's The Deep. It had me up until the very end, and then at the very end, I kind of had to go back and reread it again. I'm like, did I just read what I read? And it was just it was kind of a lot to deal with. But I'm gonna have a great time going back and rereading it because I think this needs a reread
Yeah,
for me anyway. But that's probably
not for me.
my top.
I will read A Certain Hunger based on my experience. Was is probably a little bit different than his. I'm glad that people are doing it. I was really nervous going into it,
Mhm.
like really super nervous because I don't do like as we talked about with Nick Cutter, I don't do body horror at
No.
all, and I it really didn't bother me. There were a handful of moments, and it's a little steamy and kind of dirty.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say dirty. I would
Well, like
say
sexual.
I think you have to go in it. I think people hear, cannibal
Yeah,
and gore, but I think you have to go into it thinking of it as a satire, and I think that kind of helps massage it a little bit. So
yeah,
at least it did for me. But I've also it's my fifth time
yeah.
reading it.
Well, and
So
I love American Psycho, and I love the book, I love the movie, and so when we talked about it initially, and it's like a female Patrick Bateman in a way, I that helped me wrap my head around it a little bit better,
mhm,
and like that a lot. And if you have, I see some people have downloaded the audiobook too, which is great.
mhm.
The audiobook is great. The narrator, perfect. Um, I think I said this in the vlog too. The audiobook is a little different than the actual physical book. Not a lot, and you're not losing anything by listening to it and or reading it. But I think doing them in tandem is actually a really interesting combo because you can see the differences, right?
Mhm.
Has that happened to anybody? Well, let me ask that. First and foremost, does anyone else listen to books while they physically read? David's joke is that I'm illiterate, so I have to listen to them.
That's not true. I have not said that.
He hasn't. I'm just kidding.
I don't prefer audiobooks. That's just me. I need something tangible that I can hold on and crease and
Uh-huh.
fold and all of that. I need that. But
Yeah. Well, and
I know you can read.
I yes, I can read. Yes, that is true. I I also struggle with audio sometimes too, especially if I don't have the physical book because if I I don't have the physical book. I don't have anything to focus on. Um,
Hmm.
yes, I agree. I have to be able to follow along. Like I've tried to sometimes do like housework while listening to audiobooks, and if I'm doing something, then I get distracted and I can't do it. So
Hmm.
I've tried to listen and read at the same time, but I can't quite focus that way. One or the other. Okay, I need someone to explain what the Kindle immersive reading feature is. What is that? And you found a way for your iPhone to read Kindle books while you're reading along? How?
Mm.
I just found this app called Natural Reader, and if I upload PDFs or EPUBs to that service, it will read them, but it's a very like robotic, mechanical voice. It doesn't really sound, like a person reading to you. So
Hmm.
that's the only thing that I don't love. So, sorry, I'm trying to read,
It's gonna be the whole video. Just some.
just staring at the computer trying to read. Oh, highlights and bumps along as you listen to the audio, like a karaoke video. Oh, okay.
Mm.
I guess I could get into that. Is that part of the like when they have the like the ebooks and the audio version? Are they just like they're sunk up together? Kindle only has that feature. Oh, so you have to like buy a Kindle to do it. Is that essentially what that is? Because we don't have Kindles,
Yeah,
unfortunately. We
yeah.
just have our phones.
Which one was the worst one for you?
um,
I wouldn't say worst, but just the one you couldn't connect to
well,
the most.
I think Murders of Molly Southbourne is probably one I can connect to the most. The other one that I read, that I read I read it digitally and I listened to it. I read The Cabin in the Woods by Sarah Alderson, which wasn't bad, but it was
Mhm.
predictable. And we didn't update a vlog, so I didn't get a chance to talk about those books yet. But you saw me say I was going to read it, um, and I did. And it's kind of it feels like a very like standard run of the mill thriller.
Mhm.
There were some things about it that I really liked, but overall, like that and Murders of Molly Sophomore, I think were my two least favorites of the
Mhm.
month. And I'm just gonna say this now. I finished this book this morning, and I cheers. Thank you for coming. I need someone to explain this book to me. I tried to tell him what it was about, and I don't think I did a very good job. But I didn't hate it. I think I'm going to give it like 4 stars, A minus B plus, because I like the writing a lot. But like, I did not, for the life of me, when I got to the end, I did not know. I don't think I knew what it was about or what Sarah Gailey was trying to say. So if you've read this, tell me if you if you read it. Tell me if you understand what was going on in this book. So, but yeah,
Mhm.
what was your least favorite?
I don't. It wasn't really my least favorite, but it didn't really hit me until the very end, and that was "Clown in a Cornfield." I think it was really first parts were a little generic for me until the very end, and then I don't want to really spoil it on
Yeah,
here, but there's a twist happens towards the end, and yeah, it's I can't even talk about it without spoiling it, but that's when it started to kick into high gear for me. So I wish the whole book was like that,
yeah,
and then I could really connect to it. But it was almost like halfway through, I was like, I've read. It seems like I've read this type of story before, and then it was also the one that I just kept putting down, starting something different.
yeah.
So
I I I think I said this a couple of times in the vlogs, but I had a really really hard time this week. I thought I would be super motivated to read a lot because
mhm.
we weren't well initially we weren't going to be doing anything. But then life happens, and I kind of lost track of my reading as the week progressed. Will you read the sequel?
The sequel, yes, because the ending kind of evened everything out for me. So I think I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna reread it again when the sequel comes out because that should be coming out in a couple of weeks or
Yeah.
so. So
I
yeah,
also just got the audio
yeah.
for Clown in a Cornfield too, so I think I'm gonna read that on my own just
Mhm.
before fall.
Yeah, it was just the ending kind of hit me, and I was like, oh well, I just wish this was the whole book,
Mhm.
you know. So, but it was fun. I think if I was because it reads like a YA book, so
Well, it is, right? Isn't it?
I mean, if I was a parent, I wouldn't let my kid read it. But I know how I was at 9, and I would love that book.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it does a little bit, but I think towards the end I was like, okay, you got me at the end.
Yeah.
So I look forward to reading it. So hopefully it'll be better.
Yeah. Well, I went ahead and downloaded the bingo board a little bit. I did mine, and we haven't told our points. We're gonna do that live with you. I did mine, and I got every space filled except for the sci-fi alien prompt. That's the only one. Uh, um, oh no, you've been sick this week. Reading usually helps me feel better, but did it make it worse? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like to read when I'm sick.
Well, it depends on the kind of sick that I am. If I have a
I want to
cold
watch trash and eat
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got every space but one filled. So looking at yours, which ones did you get filled?
Well, I got the holiday one.
Yeah.
I got the sci-fi one. I got the mask one.
Yeah. You got the secrets one.
And I got the secrets. I didn't get anything, did I? I got 3 space.
Yeah, you got. No.
No.
I guess you didn't get that one.
Wait. No. Wait.
Oh my God! Congratulations. I mean, that's quite a way to find out, I suppose. But congratulations.
I knew that. I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was like,
How did you know that?
I kind of know why she's sick.
How did you?
But
know?
I didn't want to say it live.
How did you? Know?
I chat.
Oh.
Is that I chat?
Yeah.
No, I chat.
I was like, did you call each other?
And I love it because she was watching Doctor Who.
Oh, I mean, I guess that's a a good way to find out.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you didn't get any? You didn't get a single bingo? You read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. How did you not get a bingo with 6 books?
I got 2 of the free spaces. But there's you can't do it at a diagonal either.
No, because we purposely made it so that you couldn't get a diagonal one. You only had to go across or yeah.
So no, I didn't. So now I'm mad.
Well, then we're looking at the bonus points that we got our fall themed drinks.
Okay.
We watched Halloween and Halloween Kills.
Okay.
I
watched the Texas Chainsaw Requel.
Yeah.
And I'll post it on Instagram, but Craig made me this kind of painting of Leatherface in the sunflower field that is probably one of my favorite things in this office that I get to look at every day when I'm at the desk.
It's
frightening. It's so silly and stupid, but I love it so much.
Night Dreams, book 1.
A. Lopez Jr. in it.
I never heard of that one.
All right.
Interesting. Unintentionally, I screamed, "What are you waiting for?" in the street because I had to go pick up my sister several times this week, and I was made to wait quite a bit. So I was in the middle of the street waiting, and I was in a car when I screamed it. So does that count? Does that still count? Is that still the same thing?
What was the name of that author?
A. Lopez Jr. A. Lopez Jr. Yeah, I was kind of amazed when I went through all the prompts.
What was the name of the book?
Night Dreams. That I was like, So tell me, we didn't specify this at all. Tell me if you're doing this, if you're counting. You know what I mean? All 9 prompts. I saw that. You got very little sleep though. At least you finished them though. That's good.
It's an overachiever.
Yeah,
we love overachievers in this house.
Yeah. Do you think it's okay that multiple books count for multiple prompts or multiple things, or one book counts for 2 prompts?
I would say that there's no really harsh rules.
No, because I said to him this morning, this book technically would count for the secrets prompt, but also technically also counts for what was the other one I said? The demon one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and Dark Harvest is a holiday book, but also it's folk horror in a way.
Okay, so let's continue down.
Okay.
Okay, so
you technically had some Texas style barbecue yesterday.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's turkey. Barbecue.
We did not listen to the Final Girl Support Group. I wanted to this week, but I didn't.
But we have it. We have it, right?
Yes, we do have it.
We do have it.
Yep.
Drink something that will keep you up at night.
We drank coffee several times. Coffee and Coke. Yeah. Unfortunately, I did not get to give David Gale-Weathers bangs.
It's not going to happen. Never going to happen.
Really, really.
Never going to happen.
I did cut his hair this week, though, so I could have.
Sort of. But sometimes when he does my hair, he likes to comb it down to where it looks like I have kind of Beatles bangs, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
We
did watch Scream 2022.
Yes, we did.
We did listen to some Jennifer Love Hewitt music. Let's go bang.
I would say probably listen to any one of her other albums, maybe 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah. We did not get to go see Nope this week, though, which I'm still mad about. Yeah. We wanted to several times. We could do it live. That's a great idea.
What?
If we get to 1,000 subscribers sometime soon, I will cut David's hair live and I will give him Gale-Weathers bangs.
For 1,000?
Yeah.
That's
double what we have now.
I'd do it for charity.
Yeah, we'll donate some money then, right?
I would do it for charity.
David also has a new job, so he probably doesn't want to show up the first day.
I don't care.
With Gale-Weathers bangs. I don't want you to show up there. Gale-Weathers bangs. Ring shout.
I'll break that one down.
I never. But you saw Nope on Wednesday. It was how you celebrated your pregnancy. Was it good? Did you like it? Was it on the list of Jordan Peele movies? Was it 1, 2, or 3? How do you feel?
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Oh, yeah. That's been on our list. For a while.
that was on the what's the word?
The recommendations.
Video.
Yeah. Yeah, that's on our list too.
Yeah, it's been on our list for a while.
Okay, we're gonna give me bangs for charity.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yes.
Wasn't scary for me. Some weird moments. I preferred Us.
Yeah, we watched Us.
We watched Us this week.
So, what else? We didn't eat a cosmic brownie.
We were at the store yesterday and could not find them. Like, could not for the life of us find them.
We didn't watch an Ari Aster movie. We didn't make that.
We did not make a Flower Crown.
I didn't watch an episode of Red Table Talk, but I do listen to the podcast on Spotify. And Scream 2 is just a staple. Yeah. It's almost like a feel-good movie that you want to watch all the time. Like, it's one of those movies, if it's on, I'll watch it. But yeah.
You know, several people think that Scream 2 is superior to Scream. Do you agree? Yeah, I don't agree with that, unfortunately. That would be, I think I totaled it up. That was like 10 things. So that's 50 points. Right there. And then I got, what was it? I don't know, like 75 points for the board. Yeah.
So what was it?
Down to 3. That's the thing, is we didn't want to buy a whole box of them, because if we bought a whole box of them, we would just
we can't have it in the house.
Yeah, we can't have sweets in the house because we will just,
unless he hides them or I hide them.
Yeah.
And then
that's bringing up trauma from the past.
Okay, so the point breakdown, but wasn't there the okay.
So bingo points, I got the bingos, you didn't. So we'll do our combined points. How about that? 75 points, 50 for the bingo, 50 points for the extra prompts. No extra prompts. 50 points for the bonus points. I did not get the full board, so that's 75 plus 50, 125, right? So we got Scream Queen.
I would probably die very quickly.
Yeah.
Because I would probably freak out or flip out or whatever, or trip and fall. That's just me.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I used Dark Harvest as full core and the holiday one, technically. Because I originally was going to do Secret Santa by Andrew Schaefer, but I didn't get to it just because things came up. But I did use that. That's what I used Dark Harvest for. So I'll just go through mine really quickly, and then David can do his. So Dark Harvest was my holiday and folk horror one. Um, Last Final Girl by Stephen Graham Jones was The Killer with the Mask. So that was number 5. Just like Home, I counted for Secrets and Demons, technically. Murders of Molly Southbourne was The Doppelgangers or Doubles. A Certain Hunger was Cannibalism. And then, oh, wait, this actually counted for 3. Nightmares and Dreams, Demons, and Secrets. And then The Cabin in the Woods was the camping one for me. So if you like anyone like super slow burn and quiet character studies with horror elements, Pine was very good. I have that on my list at the library, but it hasn't come in yet. I've heard that about that book specifically. That's on the that was on the folk horror list, I believe, on the recommendation list. Pine was. Yeah. What were yours?
My holiday ones were Silent Night 3 by R.L. Stine.
Reba Dalby is my drag character.
I think, like I said in one of the videos, I try to give R.L. Stine a chance every now and then because I just want to rekindle my childhood, and I don't know. I think I'm just aged out. So that, and then I read Autumn Crow by Cameron Chaney, which was very surprised by. But I really loved that.
Yeah. If you haven't subscribed to Cameron or you don't know who Cameron is, Library Macabre here on YouTube, you should subscribe to him. He's great.
Yeah. And then I had Carrie was, what was Carrie's? Secrets. Carrie's was Secrets, which was, I mean, it was okay. It was my second time reading. I read this when I was a early teen.
But this is the best cover of this book.
Yeah.
I love this cover so much.
Yeah.
Although that isn't, I don't feel like that's not what Carrie is supposed to look like in the book. So that's always odd to me.
No, it's, and I was saying this, I said this to Craig earlier yesterday. I was like, when you're reading this book and then you watch the movie or whatever kind of version you watched, Carrie wasn't, I mean, Sissy Spacek is stunning. You know, and the way that he wrote Carrie, she's not in the book. So I'm always very surprised by that. But rereading it, I forgot about the interstitials between the story with like the interviews and the Q&As and like the articles about it. But then I also forgot it kind of leaves it open for a sequel at the very end, which I was really surprised by, and I've forgotten about that. But they don't really highlight that in any of the movies.
No. I agree too. We have tried several times to read Fear Street books again, and it is now that we're in our 40s, it has been a little difficult to like rekindle that fire that we felt when we were young. Because it's just, I mean, they're not written for adults. Like that's the hard part about those books. Like, yeah, it's fun and campy and silly to read them, but they're not written for us necessarily. So
then I did Clown in a Cornfield, which was okay.
That's the Mask one, right?
Mask one, and then The Deep was my sci-fi book, which was probably my favorite of the week.
Yeah.
But I didn't finish We Sold Our Souls. I'm gonna have to wait maybe till Halloween.
I mean, you can read it whenever.
Yeah. So
technically.
So yeah.
Did you have a good time this week though?
Did I?
Yeah.
I did. I'm a beyond horror fan, and that's books and movies. And I think, were you surprised by that when we?
No, I was happy. I was happy about that.
Just obsessed since I was a kid. It's kind of decreased as I've gotten older. Like we'll watch something now or watch a horror film now, and it'll just freak me out a little bit too much. But so it's like I waste a lot of time doing this most of the time.
What were we watching the other night where you were covering your eyes?
We were watching the show Evil.
Oh yeah, we started watching last summer. We started watching the show Evil, which is on Paramount Plus, and I think we finished the first season last summer, and we've been steadily watching the second season, and we finally finished the second season. But it is, for a television show, like I'm not even scared by. I'm not even scared by American Horror Story anymore. But Evil is frightening.
Yeah. Especially because it started off on CBS
Yeah.
and now it's moved to the Paramount Network. But I was really surprised by some of the stuff that they were getting away with
Yeah.
on television.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm glad that you're enjoying the vlogs. That was the one thing this week that I was a little disappointed by. That we didn't get a chance to vlog more, and I think it's because life kind of got in the way, and we had to do so much extra stuff, and so it was just really hard to record ourselves. Like even last night, we went out to dinner with my family because my dad is retiring after about 31 years of working. So we took him to dinner last night, and I was like, when we were driving home, I was like, oh, I should have filmed it. I forgot to film it, and it's because we just got so busy. You know what I mean? So like it was crazy, but
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah.
It's being released the day before your birthday. Yes, we are going to read that one.
Which one?
The new Grady Hendrix, How to Sell a Haunted House. January, right? It comes out in January, I believe now. Part of me is like when they announced that he was moving it back, and then he said something about it not being finished.
Yeah.
I just wondered if they didn't want to compete with the Riley Sager of it all in the summertime,
Yeah, I would. I mean, I prefer Grady Hendrix.
Yeah,
I do. I like his stuff.
well, the last two summers they've released books like in tandem, kind of.
Yeah, and then there was that whole thing of Riley Sager wrote Final Girls, and then then the Final Girl support group came out, and
Right.
It was just, I don't know. I think they're two very different books.
They are.
And I prefer the Final Girl support group more, but
And see, I like Final Girl support group a lot for what it is. Of those two books, I would pick Final Girls by Riley Sager.
Mhm.
I like that one a lot. And I don't know why we didn't. It's probably because we both read them, but we should have read those again this week.
What?
Final Girls and Final Girl support group.
But I think those two were kind of like look at the shirt. I mean,
Yeah.
It was kind of like the catalyst for this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And we both like horror books. We both like horror movies. It was a no-brainer, really, for both of us when we decided to do a readathon of some kind. So
okay, I have two questions, real quick. So Kill River, that's the skull one, right? That's set in the 80s. Did you enjoy that? Because I've heard mixed things on that first book.
we just got a copy of it too.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of mixed things on that book, which makes me nervous to read it. But
Yeah.
Also, yes, that's a great idea. Actually,
A
a
group
group
book.
book that we all read, and then we can do a live show where we just talk about it together. That would be awesome. Kill River does sound like it would make a great movie. Back to the Horror Store thing, though, too. Horror Store is being adapted into a film as well, I think. So, you like the Kill River series. Okay, the whole thing, right? Not just the first book. Oh, this chair is deep.
Those covers are great.
Yes. It takes its sweet time setting up the horror, but it makes sense. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to read that one. I haven't been able to find an audio for that book, which is why I think I've been hesitating to put it off. Like, why I've been hesitating to even read it. So, yeah. I didn't know when we bought it that it was 3 books. So that's going to make that interesting. Yeah. You want to check Instagram and see if anybody submitted any questions?
Check.
I'm looking at. Yes, a group book would be a great idea, and we talked about it for this summer. But I was like, I didn't want to force anybody to read something that they didn't want to read. So maybe next year we'll do some polls and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll probably do at least 3 or 4.
I have to read all 3. So if I'm reading it, I have to commit to 3 books. Oh no. I've heard that Kill River is supposed to be like a 80s slasher, and I haven't read it, so Horror Homeroom is going to have the better answer for you probably, because I missed something else. I thought maybe I didn't. Yeah, there was about 6, definitely a slasher. Okay, good. I haven't found too many good slasher books. I love slasher might be my favorite like genre of horror.
Mhm.
And so, but I haven't really found many good like slasher books. What is your favorite scary movie and your favorite Final Girl? I can probably answer for him, and I think he can answer for me.
I'm looking. I'm looking. There's a Craig made me that he makes me a lot of stuff because he's extremely creative. But he made me this. What is that? What would you call that?
I mean, it's like a band poster.
It's almost like it's titled "The Final Girls," and there's pictures of my kind of 4 favorite final girls, and it's called the Survivor Tour, and it has like certain dates
Mhm.
and where they're going to be performing, and it has Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. Laurie Strode from Halloween, Sally from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then there is Ginny from Friday the 13th Part 2. Adrienne King should be in there somewhere
Yeah.
because I really enjoyed her performance in Friday the 13th. But so yeah, so probably, I mean, there's just too many. But I think I would probably,
You're not gonna pick your mom?
I would say probably I have an affinity for Laurie Strode. I think Halloween is
Hmm.
probably a perfect horror film
Yeah.
for me. But also Nancy and A Nightmare on Elm Street, she reminds me of my older sisters. So
Nancy's a great Final Girl as well. You know what who's mine?
Sydney Prescott.
Sidney Prescott. Scream is the movie that got me into horror, so I always have to stick with that one. I'll have David post a picture of that poster on Instagram so you can see it. Okay. I saw an Instagram reel today of a person who put their face on the Taste Like Candy book, and there was like singing at them to read it, and I was like, I almost bought that book because the cover is brilliant. Let me make sure that I'm telling you correctly before I. Oh, it's yes, it says Taste Like Candy. It calls it a slasher novel by Ivy Tholen. Is that right?
Is that it?
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
This one. Yeah, that's a brilliant cover. Uh, has a 3.75 on Goodreads. That's not terrible. I like that. I can handle that. I'll put that. I think that one. I'll put it on my list. Oh, it takes place in 2020. Okay, nice.
Faith says her first horror film was Friday the 13th. She was 4. I was 5.
You were 4.
I was 5. My older brother was watching it, and I walked in from preschool, and I had no idea. It was right at the very end when they were fighting, um, and I was transfixed, and I'm like, "What is this?"
Hmm.
And it took a few years for me to see the whole film through, but I just remember distinctly that part of the film, and just I think that was probably where it all started.
Yeah, I would agree. Like if I was when we were looking at the list and trying to make the final girls, I was like, Nancy's great, Sydney's great. I just lost the other one. Oh, I love Midsommar a lot. If any Ari Aster movie, I'm a huge fan of. And I loved I Know What You Did Last Summer, though I don't think that it is nearly as good as people remember it to be. I okay, controversial. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer better. I think the soundtrack is great, and I think having Brandy in was great. Jennifer Esposito was like dark and stormies, man.
She did. I mean, that's all she had to do, and she did it. I mean, I was like, if you're gonna have Jennifer Esposito, you better
Yeah.
use her.
Rosemary's Baby is horror for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I love that movie. You know what my first scary movie was? You're probably not gonna call it horror, really. It's more of a thriller, but I was like 8 when I saw it at a sleepover.
Silence of the Lambs.
No, it was The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
yeah. I was at a sleepover with like 3 friends, and then I think my friend's mom was watching him and the Rocks the Cradle, and so we were watching it with her, and I was so scared by Rebecca De Mornay in that movie,
I
and I
love
was
that
like,
movie.
maybe that's why I never wanted to have children.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe,
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
Good stuff.
So if you like the Rosemary's Baby movie, have you read the Rosemary's Baby book? Also, Faith said earlier, or maybe it was, yes, a prompt of read the book and then watch the movie. We did talk about that a little bit because there are several on here that would work, but maybe next year for sure. So, your favorite recent horror movie? I mean, Scream 2022 is the one that I remember the most, and I really liked what they did with that one a lot.
I've watched a lot of horror films in the past week because of this.
Yeah.
I think I watched more horror films than I did reading books. And I'm trying. What did I watch recently that?
we watched so many movies. Sometimes it just like when you start using Letterboxd, like we use Goodreads.
Well, I'm going through the Rolodex, so keep talking. I'm through. Oh, you know what I watched this morning? What he was taking a nap. I was watching.
Not this morning.
Was it this morning or this afternoon?
Well, I think it was this morning.
It was this morning. It was Road Games with I think it's Stacy Keach or James Keach, one of those Keach brothers, and Jamie Lee Curtis, set in Australia. I think it was Richard Franklin did it, I think. But yeah, I was watching that and it was pretty fun.
Yeah, we have Tubi too, and sorry, I said Tubi too, and then we occasionally will go through there.
I watched it on Tubi.
We will go through Shudder sometimes and like just look at the random stuff, and there's some things on there that look very good, and other things because like it's hard. The quality is hard. And Shudder was supposed to be doing a queer horror documentary.
I think it's in September.
Comes out in September?
I think so.
How would they not release it in June? X. Yes, we did see X in the theater.
We did.
Yeah. I liked it enough. I really love Ty West a lot because I like The Innkeepers and then House of the Devil, right?
I was surprised by X. Actually, I thought it was really well done.
Did you see the Pearl trailer? That's the real question. Will you go see the prequel now if you've seen X?
Bonkers.
Yes. Aaron in Your Next is a great final girl as well. I love Your Next a lot. That movie, I have a story about that movie.
It's a great movie.
I went with a good friend of mine to see Your Next in the movie theater, and a couple came in with a legitimate infant. They brought an infant and the toddler with them to see that movie, and I was just like, what? Oh, we also recently saw Black Phone.
Oh, yeah.
Which was great, which was also based on a book. So
that was also another one. It was just anything with children I can't do. Like horror related stuff with children I can't.
Okay, so when you say like reaction channels to horror movies, like they watch them and then they like react and post the videos. Is that what that is?
It would be me like this the whole time. Yeah.
Summer of '84. I don't know. What is that?
I think
Did we watch
I think that's always on our list of things to watch.
That sounds familiar, but I don't remember
it was on Shudder for a while. Yeah.
Oh, where is that playing now?
I thought it was on Shudder because there's that. It wasn't that. It was that.
Oh, is that Stranger Things vibes a little bit, but horror?
Hope not.
Yeah, I really did like this new season of Stranger Things a lot. Huh. We've talked about doing a side channel where we like Mystery Science Theater 3000 like Hallmark movies.
There would be a lot of cursing.
Yeah.
A lot of hiding on my part.
Hiding?
Like hiding.
For
like,
Hallmark movies?
Oh,
remember we talked about doing that one.
That too.
Yeah, because we'll just lay in bed and watch stupid Hallmark movies. We've recently started watching.
Mysteries.
Yeah, we've recently started watching all cozy like flower shop murders and crossword murders and
We're extremists
yeah.
with our viewing. We either like really hardcore horror movies or cozy Hallmark mysteries.
Horror and Hallmark. That's a great name, actually. We should do that. Yeah, that's what I want Hallmark to do is to create a horror film.
And we can host it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yep, Dexter and Cozy Mystery. Like it is, as David said, it is two extremes. Like I don't do gore. Like that's why I don't do a lot of body horror stuff very much. But like for sure, like really cozy, silly, stupid mysteries or intense horror. So we watched the what is it called? They're the Hannah Swenson mysteries on Hallmark, which are all based on the Joanne Fluke novels, which is like Banana Cream Pie Murder or Coconut Cake Murder or Wedding Cake Murder. So he bought one of them and then I was like, oh, he likes that. I'll buy more of them. So I bought four more of them and then decided to read one and I was like, this isn't exactly what I imagined when I bought it. So yep, I agree with you. Cozy Mysteries. Great for a short. Hallmark and horror and chill. That's a great idea. Okay, you said it to us. So do you want to do it or do we have to do it? That's the real question. Who gets to make that? Oh, Black Phone is already for rent. Okay. I didn't know that. That's good. Okay, we'll do it.
Hmm.
uh which one though? What would you watch the hell out of? Like reacting to Hallmark movies or horror movies?
It would just be a camera at my face, really, as I'm screaming and hiding under the covers.
Do you want us to host another readathon, like another one like this, or something different? That's because as much as we thought it would be a lot of hard work, it wasn't really that difficult to create it. So like, if that's something that you guys want, we would, yeah, we would do it. Um, yes, the Final Girls movie is. I love that movie.
Yeah, there's also the final girl with
Abigail
Breslin.
Breslin, yeah.
Too.
But I liked the Final Girls movie because it takes on that trope of in that horror genre, which is really great, and kind of turns on its head, and it's funny and
It's
also
fun.
scary. You've never seen True Blood, have you? But I watched the
I
whole
think I've seen
thing.
like a few episodes, and then I go back and forth with vampires. I like my vampires very scary and crazy.
Yeah.
I don't like them to glitter.
Well, they don't glitter in True Blood. True Blood is actually the first two seasons are great. They're really scary, and it is more than vampires.
Oh,
There's
really?
werewolves and other things, and I can't remember. I can't remember what the woman's name at the end of season one was, and what she was. She was a creature of some sort, but I can't remember what it was called. Um, but season one and season two are great. After that, it kind of yes, Marianne. Yeah.
Mm.
What was her like? She was a creature, right? What's the name of that creature? I can't remember the name of that creature. Maynad? Is that what it is? Okay, Hallmark and horror readathon. That's a so do we have to combine like cozy mysteries and horror books all into one?
Maybe like for the winter time or the like a fall, like a late fall.
Well, there's so many like good like Christmas themed cozy mysteries too, which might be a good idea. Maybe to do it in the winter time. If people want to do it, yeah. Okay, good. I'm. It's been so long since I've watched it. Did you read the Charlene Harris books at all, or did you just watch the show? That's the real like. I tried to read the books, but then the books to me are very different. They were very different than the series.
Mhm.
So the books are almost more like cozy mystery than anything else. They're not like scary. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Now we got to figure out what the a month long. That
A
scares
month,
me.
a
That scares
month.
me. A week was a was a lot. I now know why. I guess Summerween is a week, but like
Yeah.
uh other readathons are like 3 or 4 days, but yeah, that was the one thing that like I normally I don't like reading under pressure
Mhm.
necessarily. So like I really, really like I don't know. I like being able to kind of spread out and lounge and read, you know? And so I think I felt a lot of pressure this week. This is the first like readathon that we've both like hardcore participated in. So we've watched from the side with like Summerween and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but we haven't really participated.
It's a lot of planning. Like we
Yeah.
started planning this what? How long ago did we do plan this?
We talked about it like when we first started the channel, but
Yeah.
yeah,
We were just trying to find the right time to do it.
that's actually a good point. Yeah, because with a week we do feel like we had to post every day, and we looked at it. We didn't post every day, but
Which is why we wanted to do a live show.
yeah, yeah. Because then we could just like talk with people and talk with you guys about it, and then yeah. Um, yeah, November is actually not a bad idea either. Thinking about that, you know, uh, and I like less pressure.
Mhm.
The issue that we run into, especially around that time, is that like with me, is especially is that's I'm in. I have finished one show and I'm in rehearsal for the musical, all in November and December. So I'm like all over the place until about my birthday, and then I get to breathe for about 3 weeks. And this year won't be any different, I don't think. So, um, yeah, Eric Northman did need his own series, especially after that ending that they gave him. So, uh, yeah, we did Faith talk about doing reading sprints, and we were going to, but then we didn't because again, things were happening. So, we would do that again next time for sure. I mean, that's not a bad idea to do weekly lives. I mean, yeah, without having to do a bunch of vlogs. But I love like editing the vlogs, and I love kind of creating that. It's just we're so I hate saying that we're old. We're not old, but like we're we're not used to filming everything that we do. Like we're still getting used to that whole idea of like filming everything in our lives. Because I told him when we started, I was like, I don't want the vlogs to just be us making coffee, sitting on the couch watching TV and reading a book. Like
Working.
we're working. Like we need to like find stuff to do,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't feel super boring. Because I don't know. I don't. Do people like just watching a 60-minute video of someone reading? That's our life too. That's the problem. That's all we do.
That's all we do.
I mean, our lives are like so regimented, and our schedules are so yeah.
Which I love, by the way. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Maybe we should do more lives more often. I like this a lot. I like talking to all of you.
I do too, because there's sometimes if you will send me a message or something, I won't get it for like an hour or two.
Yeah.
I like this because we can actually connect with you live and all that. But we're gonna wind down here. If anybody has any questions,
Yeah, we'd love to answer any
we
questions.
can answer them before we skedaddle.
Yeah, we should also go live on Instagram. That would be a good idea too. Yeah. I'm gonna before we leave, I'm just gonna quickly give you my grades for the books that I read this month or this week. This week. Yeah. And then if you have questions for us, pop them in the chat and we'll answer them before we wind down. We still have to make dinner. I think for A Certain Hunger, that's an A plus for me, 100% across the board. Just like Home, I think I'm gonna settle on B minus or B plus, even though I still don't feel like I know what happened in this book. Last Final Girl is an A minus. You haven't read this and you like slashers, it's a great choice, like for real, a great choice. C, Murders in Molly Southbourne, Dark Harvest, A, and then Cabin in the Woods, B plus, probably.
I would say Silent Night 3. Let's see. Yeah. Autumn Crow an A. It was just a very beautiful, touching horror collection. It was just
Which
really,
you don't get to say very often
you
about
just
horror.
don't, and that's what I loved about it so much, was that it exceeded my expectations. The Deep, an A. Yeah, I'll give it an A. I'll give it an A. Clown in a Cornfield, I'm gonna give it like maybe a B or a C. I'm gonna wait until the sequel to see how Adam Caesar kind of starts the next chapter of this, and then I'll make a final decision for that. And then Carrie, I would say an A as well.
Those are good. Those are good.
But I didn't finish We Sold Our Souls. But
Yeah,
that's,
I mean,
that's that.
in all honesty, oh, I also should say, I started Man Fuck the House this morning. Oh, I probably should have said that. Whoops. Anyway, I started that this morning, and I am about halfway through it, and I really loved it. I wasn't going to count it for this, but I did start it, and I did like it quite a bit. I like what I've read so far. There's a child character in that book that is so funny, but also so scary. And it's a short book. It's like 150 pages or something like that. It's great, and I'm gonna finish it tonight. So technically, I guess I can still count it because the readathon doesn't end until midnight, right? So maybe, yeah. You're very welcome. I'm glad people got to join us. I'm glad that people got to kind of spend some time with us. That was the best part about the whole thing, was like talking to all of you on Instagram, in the comments, on the blogs, like just getting to be around. This is the best part about YouTube.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
And also, I mean, I would say in the chat, like, connect with each other as well, because I think that's the fun part about this too. Follow each other on Instagram, and just, especially Horror Homeroom. I can't say it enough. If you haven't gone to their site yet, they have a lot of great articles about the horror genre, about horror film in general. It's one of my favorite sites to go to. So thank you for that.
Also, if you needed somebody else to write something, let me know. I'd be happy to do it. Thank you, Faith, for telling him about that, because that's how I'm reading that book, because I bought it. I did get it for $2.99, which was great. I almost bought the physical book, but then the physical book was like $11 and wasn't going to come till next week. Thank you. We love having all of you here. Like, seriously, I know, like, we probably say it a lot, but it's true. Like, we really appreciate you guys very much, because it makes it all this worth it, for sure. What are you having for dinner? 2 weeks next time if a month is too long. Yeah, maybe we'll like start small and we'll go up and up by one and one. Thank you very much. See, and I thought about that too. Like, I think I'm also having a salad as well.
I'll probably have cereal.
Cracklin Oat Bran. We should have gone live here and live on Instagram at the same time. Like, that would have been a great idea. We should have done that. See, we're learning as we go. We're not inherently good YouTubers, so we're just kind of learning as we go. So, yeah. Sitting. So again, Oh, is the nausea still really bad? And pasta with spinach feels like it's pretty benign, right? Like, it wouldn't do a whole lot, but I guess that's the spinach is pretty intense flavor. So, well, we are going to do we're going to do a wrap up video where we talk about, because I think I got to 13 books this month, which is the same as I read last month. And I read 7 books before we started this. So we're going to do a wrap up for all of those books as well. And then I'm going to take it a little easy in August, because school starts in 2 weeks. So
yeah, I think I finished 14. I think 14 is my final. It's going to be my final
hey, you
number.
beat me.
So yeah, because I've been reading stuff off and on throughout this week too. There's a few books that I started reading, a few nonfiction books that I started. But yeah, I think I'm going to take a break from like fiction, at least for next month.
Yeah, you can't really see it, but right behind him, right up there on that little shelf under, he got a bunch of like true crime from the library. So I wouldn't be surprised if he starts reading that next. So I don't know anything about pregnancy, so I'm not even sure how long that nausea lasts, but I hope it goes away, because I know that probably sucks a lot. We'll see you later. Thanks for coming. It's 7 o'clock officially. We've been doing it for an hour. So I think we're going to sign off. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming tonight. And for those of you that for just sticking with us the whole night. Have a good night. Maybe we'll do this again. This was fun. I like this a lot. So come back for more videos. Yeah. And we'll see you guys real soon, okay?
All right, everybody. Bye.
Good night.
Sending you all the love. Bye.